And
Well, I'm actually in Suzhou, even though my company is registered in Shanghai, and the experience we have in Suzhou has just been totally day and night to Shanghai. Everybody, I'm sure, has heard of the very difficult time they had in the spring in Shanghai, but we've missed all of that. We've not had any lockdowns. You know, we have to get fairly regular testing to have a green code to go to certain places, but Suzhou has just seemed like a paradise versus what people have been going through in other cities, like in Shanghai in the spring. So great variation from area to area.
I see. So when do you think people can start going into China and start their investment project?
It keeps getting kicked further and further into the future. And I mean, with the real recent breakout in Guangzhou and pileup in Beijing, it's hard to see where there's going to be any end in sight unless there's a fundamental rethink of policy. And everything that's been officially said has said that there won't be any fundamental review of policy. So it's very difficult to predict.
Hi, Dora.
Dora.
Hi, Dora. Nice meeting you. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, I did not realize I muted myself. How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, good. We are good.
Great. Hi.
Please introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry about that. So we have 16 people here, right? Am I correct? Hi, everyone. Hello. Yeah. My name is Dora. I'm the founder of a company called Technologist Holding. We develop SaaS software. We develop automations used in property sectors and used in aviation sectors. Yeah.
Andrew Bryan from Innovate is also in constructions. So you guys can talk after the event.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, I'm actually should note that I'm between Beijing and New York. I've been in New York for the last 5 months, but still have an apartment in Beijing, and hopefully we'll go back there in a couple months from now, but we'll see depending on the situation.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Peter. We have another judge. Yep.
Hello,
Please
everyone.
unmute
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
nice to see everyone again. Some of them, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Wish the best to all the founders today. Looking forward to your pitches. I'm based in Singapore. I will put some back screen on, but it's
Good
dark
morning,
already.
Belinda.
Hi, good morning. Ayub. Ayub is from Public Wealth Family Office Association.
Thank you very much for
Yes.
inviting us. I am
My pleasure.
always very, very confused with timing. So I'm actually in London. I'm traveling. I'm in London. So I get all confused with different time zones. So ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for being late.
You are on time.
Just make it. No problem.
Eddie. Old
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Good to be here. And some of the friends I also know before in other events. So nice to meet you all. Yeah.
And Dr. Ned. Can you hear us?
Yes. Hello to everyone. How are you?
Hi. Please.
You bring so beautiful smile.
Maybe we wait for another 2 minutes because we still need to have 2 more teams.
Just to let you know, there are two other people, two of the other founders are going to join and sit in and audit.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now, Helen is from Beijing.
Yes. Hello, Belinda.
Hi, please introduce
Oh.
yourself.
Hi.
Helen, can you hear?
Yeah, please introduce yourself. Brenda call you, ask you to introduce yourself. A little bit, a basic one. Yeah.
Because we are still waiting for some other judges and staff teams to join us. Okay.
16.
All right, now is the time to start. Thank you everyone for joining this event. Unicorn Pictures China is the second time holding in Hong Kong. Thank you all the staff teams and all the judges who would like to participate in this 2 hours event. So to start with, let me introduce myself. I'm Belinda. My main business is company formation and corporate compliance. I'm also the writer of Hong Kong Company Secretary's Practice Manual and Hong Kong Company Secretary Checklist. I also speak and comment on the Hong Kong corporate law at professional bodies. Today we'll have about 17 judges joining us. We'll introduce the panel of judges one by one by alphabetical order. So to start with, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Belinda. I thank you for inviting me. And can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me to this important event. I really believe that the future of the world is dependent on more entrepreneurs succeeding, creating more employment. And I will play my little bit in it. We are fortunate to have Belinda, who have organized this. I am the president of the Private Wealth and Family Office Association, which is a Swiss-based association specializing in financial control for private clients and for families. It's something I've been doing for the past 20 years, and we are developing at a very fast rate. We are building our international association because we believe that finance as it is not always catering for the end users, and professional making sure that bankers are charging the right rate is important, and financial control is as important in businesses as it is in everybody's private life. So everybody should have a personal financial strategy to create their own wealth, and then they are able to then support more entrepreneurs and succeed. Our association has got about 9 thought leaders, of which Belinda is a very active thought leader for Hong Kong. So she tells us a lot about the beautiful place she lives in and the future, etc., etc. So I'm pleased to be here.
Okay, thank you. The next is Dora Chow.
Oh, hi. I think I've just done a bit. Let me just quickly wrap up. First time I joined this. Thank you, Belinda, for inviting. I found a company called Technologist Holdings. We do the automation softwares We apply it on property sectors and in aviation sectors. And I look forward for today's project from everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dora. Next, Dr. Nek from Serbia.
So hello everyone. It's my great pleasure to be again with the Unicorn pitches. So basically, I'm director of Center for Technology Transfer at the University of Belgrade. For the last 10 years, we are working on education, legal protection, and commercialization of scientific research. I'm also one of the co-directors of Founder Institute Serbia, which is the largest pre-acceleration program in the world. So that's in short.
Thank you, Dr. Nek. Next is Eddie, our international AI expert.
Hello, I'm Eddie. Actually, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and in this several years, actually, I co-founded 3 to 4 companies that working on AI. Because the AI is a very new technologies and it can evolve in many industries. So for my four industry, I will cover from prop tech, the training educations. Because I'm educated before. Teaching textual education before. And also AI for recently we're doing about climate tech. So I'm familiar with AI, and I also do some mentoring. From AI perspective, even deep learning or machine learning perspective, to provide some startup advice or even technologies advice from different companies, not only in Hong Kong but also in Taiwan, Singapore, and also the company I partner with is one is come from American, one is come from Australia, one is come from Singapore, but all of this has come into Hong Kong actually. So they are looking for more corporations and others.
Okay, thank you. Next is Helen, female founders from Beijing.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Helen Yang, and I'm from Beijing of China. In the past years, I have been working in biotechnology and healthcare investment for many years, first as a strategic consultant, and then as a private equity investor. And in recent years, I have been working mostly with venture capital and startups in biotechnology and healthcare. At the same time, I myself is also a startup owner, so I understand all the owners' dreams, difficulties, struggles, and I also know how to get fundraising and how to keep sustainable development and how to avoid failure. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Helen. John, please introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm John Evans. I have probably a more general financial and business background than many people here. It's only recently I've focused on the early stage companies. I spent the first sort of 20 plus years of my life in the international capital markets, and then I moved over to academia, teaching and running master's programs in investment management at universities, firstly in the UK and then here in Suzhou, China. But 6 years ago, I started up my own company when I returned to industry, and now I provide consulting and corporate finance services to startups and SMEs here. Looking forward to the presentations tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Dr. Katerina, Professor and Innovation Ecosystem Builder.
Thank you, Belinda. Hello, everyone. Really glad to be here. I'm Katarina Pavlovic. I have been in industry for 20 years now as executive manager, also as a coach and consultant. In the past 10 years, I moved into the SME sector and have been doing a lot of work with startups, building this innovation ecosystem that we have here. I have been joining different accelerator programs. I established my own incubator at the faculty where I teach, and I'm also associate professor, just to mention that, of management and project management, trying to help build this bridge or have more connections between industry and academia in Serbia. Totally enjoy all different areas of startup activities, and I'm supportive of this idea, having different pitch contests and giving the feedback to founders. So glad to be here again, and glad to network with all of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Next is our old friend, Gaio, also from Serbia.
Thank you, Belinda, for the invite. It's a pleasure, and of course, a great pleasure to contribute in addition to other judges that are important for the Serbian startup ecosystem, as well as other people and familiar faces I know from previous startup pitching events. So for the last 2 decades, I've been gaining experience in various industries in the field of finance and corporate governance in the region of Southeast, Eastern, and Central Europe, as well as consulting experience with both developed and startup companies. So my background goes like turning from the corporate world to the startup ecosystem, and I've been advising a couple of startups in the past couple of years, and of course being associated with the UK fintech market as well. So I'm a finance executive with more than 20 years of experience, mostly 11 plus years in senior analytics and business transformation roles, mostly working with operations management within startups, SME and SMBs organizations, who also have been involved with technology and manufacturing companies, mostly working on corporate planning processes, coordination and implementation of projects. Specifically for agribusiness, FMCG, information and communication technology, as well as textile industry, where I've been involved within the clothing manufacturer, which is specialized in production of light knitwear, and being currently a CFO of a really successful startup that turned from a small production company to a leading clothing manufacturer that is export into European markets. So I'm really excited for this event, and I'm working here as being part of a capacity of the projects that are supporting local startups who wanted to connect with international VCs and angelic investors. So I'm really excited to event.
Okay,
and
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. The next one is Patricia from Hong Kong.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much, Belinda. I'm Patricia Slavinska. I'm the head of ESG of Entries Partnership. And in my free time, I'm running an NGO called Impact Circles, which is actually for social entrepreneurs. I have been as well opening up a lot of communities in Hong Kong and across Europe and the world, actually, in social entrepreneurship, in ESG, social impact, and health tech. And I've conducted as well a lot of projects for real estate and the future work gig economy. Thank you.
Patricia is a celebrity in Hong Kong. Almost everyone knows her. Next is Peter from Singapore.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Peter from Singapore. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm clear.
Yeah, I'm Slovac-Canadian, living in Singapore, doing many things. Angel investor, venture partner, R3I Ventures, author. My latest book's coming November 20 on enterprises management. Check it out. Serial entrepreneur, founded a few companies, mentoring about 30 plus startups globally. Anyway, so I'm here to join a esteemed panel of judges that most of I met before on different events of the Unicorn, and wish the founders all the best and looking forward to your pitches. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Last but not the least, Vladimir from Dubai. Vladimir.
Hi, thank you, Belinda, for inviting me. My name is Vladimir. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Dressos. Dressos is a Dubai-based company, and Dressos delivers AI-powered retail solution for personalized shopping and personalized outfits. Dressos was the winner of UAE pitches here several months ago. My background is fashion retail. I've spent most of my life in Serbia and Dubai, and I was in charge for fashion retail, a lot of fashion retail brands for the GCC region and the region of Balkans. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to all the pitches today.
Thank you. Thank you all the judges for sharing their background with us. We have such diversified panel of judges, so the startups can learn something from each of them during the Q&A sections. The rundown of today's event is each startup will have 3 to 5 minutes to present their projects, followed by 3 to 5 minutes Q&A questions from the panel of judges. So please keep your questions clear and precise. And after the presentation, each judge will cast a vote for the startup. The scale is from 1 to 5. 5 is the maximum score a startup can get. So before further ado, we'll invite Hao Lu to present his product, Solar Power Glory.
Well, thank you very much, Belinda. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen. All right. Can you guys see my slides right now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much again, Belinda. Thank you for inviting me. And then good evening, everybody, to wherever you are. My name is Lu Tao. I'm based in Beijing right now. I am the founder and CEO of Solar Power Glory, SPG, and we do solar cars. We solve the problem of energy provision by applying solar onto electric vehicles. And we try to make sure that every electric vehicle can run forever without charging. This is our vision.
Sorry, can I stop? I don't see the slides. Does everybody else see it?
I also see it.
Yes.
I see a single picture. It's
Yeah,
Only
there's
see the
yeah.
Only see the background, not for the PowerPoint.
Okay. Should I wait? It says it's sharing right now. Can you see it right now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Is the picture presented within the pitching presentation, the one within your pitching slide? I mean,
Is right now it's just a title page with SPG solar car. And now I'm turning to the second page, which is supposed to be a solar car.
No first page, no second page.
No second page.
It's the same page.
Yeah.
is it a PowerPoint or a PDF?
It's a keynote. I'm on the Mac.
This is a background we see. We don't see any PowerPoint nor presentation. This is just a thing that has been there before.
Okay.
Can I see? No. Let me stop that. Belinda, I just sent my slides to you. Do you think you can play it on my behalf? So
This slide is with the startup network team. Maybe we move to, yeah, let me check.
Let me move to the next startup and then give time for the first one to prepare for.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good to me. Let the second roll. Thank you.
The second one is Guinness World Records. So are you Guinness World Record? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Let me share the screen here. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, yes, I can see
Okay.
your screen.
So
Better
this is all
for full
about.
screen. Better for full screen. It is not full
Okay.
screen now.
Is it full screen now?
Yeah, it is with me.
Okay. So basically, this is NFT2 technology. There's first generation NFT. We're doing second generation NFT technology. And a little bit about NFTs. Obviously, a lot of people are buying them now, from basketball superstars to the average person. These are some of the platforms that it has. The most popular one is OpenSea. I'm sure maybe if you're in the fintech, you might have heard of it. Our technology is a little bit different. Instead of using AI algo to make one design and make 1,000 designs or 10,000 designs, our algo makes one design. For example, here, this digital art was sold to Shaq O'Neal, which is a basketball superstar, for $16,000. And it's only one design. It's only one of that. Our second gen AI creates 9 of those, which is different colors and with a little bit of variety. So instead of having just one, other people could own part of the collection. And instead of just 16,000, this piece could now generate up to 120,000 worth of revenue. Same thing here. I have no idea why this ape was sell for 150,000, but it's only one of them. But we have 3 collections, 9 pieces. It could fetch up to 1.3 million on the open market. And CryptoPunks, if you are in the fintech, this one sold for 400,000. So we have 9 colors now in the second generation. So 2.7 million we could fetch with 9 different color tones. So basically, our business model was really simple. We create many of the same type of design so that the value of the NFT keeps strong and it doesn't fall. So instead of having one piece, you co-own 34 pieces of the same collection, the value would be more stable and won't drop so easily. And we're also making a platform to do that as well, to make only multiple of the same type of designs. So it's really simple. NFTs demand is going up, growth for 2022. This is us. Visa bought a CryptoPunk. Bored Ape was bought by Adidas as well. So this is a little bit more what we do. This is why we're asking for seed to really explore the market and social media and doing a lot of marketing to get the name out there. This is a little bit of our team for our head of investor relations, investor manager, and this is myself. I've done designs, industrial for a lot of years. And this is our team as well. That helps us create some of the other looks. As you see here, there are 9 pieces of NFT of the same design, which gives that well-selling NFT a lot of variety and a lot more revenue, which is a very important factor here, and variety. So this is us on Xiaohongshu. I'm sure you know that app. So we've been gaining a lot of attention. And we can have here, as you see on the right side, NFTs as well. Before the presentation is up, I would like to show you this one is owned by Shaq O'Neal, and then we've made a collection of 16 colors, I think. And here you can see here that it is very, very different from the original one. And this is the original one here. I can showcase that to you here. This is the original one here, as you see, and this is ours. And there are 16 colors. So we have done that. And here with the files as well. So we have now 300 designs, and we want to scale up to about 1,000 really quick. This is a monkey that sold for 100,000. I don't know why it's sold for so much. I think it's actually 300,000. But with the same monkey, we made 4 of them, and this collection is ready to go as well. So that's pretty much our presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay. The judges, please raise your hand if you want to raise questions. Anyone?
Me?
Yeah.
I just have one question. How many varieties are you going to conduct your NFT characters? And what is your scope of the character that you design?
There are three main parties that own 90% of the marketplace or 80% of the marketplace. There's CryptoPunks, there is Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and there's Bored Ape Yacht Club. And we focus on these three. For example, this is one here. I could show you here. This is one, which is Shaq O'Neal. It's from the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So in this particular one, we've made 16 designs, which is everyone is different, and depending on the person, they can pick different variety. The first generation is only one of the design. That's all the algo can make. But since this is a nice selling one, we can make a variety and specialize in more better selling designs than making 10,000 and only having maybe 50 to 100 that sell.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Katerina, your question?
Yes, if you can go back to the slide related to your previous investments, if I got this correctly, you already raised $2 million, or is it
no,
the sum that you're looking for?
We are looking to raise this amount to really hit the ground running. This is what we're looking to do, is to actually do a lot of marketing. Right now, we're not spending too much on this Suhongshu. It's more organic growth, but we could see the demand in China even for having.
But then,
if we have a,
okay. I understand that. I have not finished my question. So for $2 million, what is the equity that you offer?
We're doing 10%.
10%. So what would be the valuation of the company at this moment?
Right now, that's a very good question. We could put it this way. Let's go to this page. Our valuation, as we value ourselves, maybe you think might be a little bit higher on the $20 million side. But basically, if you do the research and you dig really deep into the analytics and who owns the market, CryptoPunks, Mutant Apes, and also Bored Ape Yacht Club, we have access to those designs and make them better. So pretty much we could just start selling NFTs really, really soon. But the reason we're raising money is we want to really go really fast. The faster you go, the more market you catch. So that's why we're raising the funding.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
The next question is from you, followed by Dr. Net. The final question.
Thank you. Two questions, if I may. One is, what is the name of the company? Is it Techie or is it Guinness World Record? That was my first question.
Right.
Carry on.
Ours is II Hong Kong Limited, and our brand is NFT2 Tech, which stands for the second generation of NFTs.
Okay, thank you. The second question, quickly. In your presentation, you indicated the sale of the unique NTF, but you also indicated the multi-NTF, and you put a price down there. Are these actual sale price or these are expected sale price?
Okay. For example, if you see the screen now, it's 400,000 for one piece. We pushed 9 pieces out there in the market. We might fetch anywhere from 1.5 or 1.3 to 2.7. We actually have the ability to actually make about 50 to 100 of these selective pieces on a bi-daily basis. So we don't have shortage in stock for investors that want to invest in them. So that's why we call them second generation, is because they're built on the first generation of the pieces that sell well.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Net, your
So,
question?
yeah, just a moment. So basic, okay, I'm there. So basically, I have a question regarding the IP. So basically, the first original is not yours, right? And basically it's sold to someone else. So can you explain how you can actually use something which is original and just change the colors? Because I think changing colors is not enough to make it like original new piece. So that I would like to hear that. And also I would like to understand what is your unique selling proposition. Basically, you're just changing the color. So changing color is, again, it's easy, and minting is easy. So I would appreciate if you can answer on those two.
Okay. If you see the first photo, it's the design that you have, which is the one that Jack O'Neill has bought. Second photo is ours. There is quite a bit of difference for the first one to the second one. I could show you a more sort of a closely here. The second one, we've made the design more cleaner than the first one. And secondly, the variety is not in the base color. The variety is the color in everything. For example, the hat, the goggles, this detail here, this detail here, this detail here, anything from the mouth as well. So everything changes. Not just you might see a base color, but if you look really closely, it's everything that changes, including the original design itself, to be cleaner and make it more variety for people to invest in. So
I understand. Okay, thank you. I understand. I'm not sure that will be enough for making it original. It's like take Mickey Mouse and remove his 1 ear. So is it still Mickey Mouse? Yes, it is. So, but it's not original piece. So that's my opinion.
It's very subjective. So some people will buy, some people won't buy. Some people think it might be a big thing. Some people might not think. But obviously, there's a high chance there will be a big market out there.
Yeah. So listen, it's not about buying. Probably every good has its own buyer. I think it's about the IP. Is someone will be sue you for selling something which should be like how to say represented like a copy or infringement of the original. So that's the thing.
In NFTs, there's no IP because I specialize in IP myself. So basically, when the design's been adjusted for so much differential, there can't be any legal lawsuits because it doesn't touch on any country ground of jurisdiction. So if, for example, if something was made in China and there's IP in China, like a physical product that you're manufacturing in China, that could be asserted for damages for. But if it's something that's on the internet without a physical country of copyright being sold through crypto, then that is a different story for IP, because IP must belong to a certain country or respective. That's why you see on the NFTs that there's no copyright or etc., because it's protected by crypto.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Guinness Record. Yeah. Judges, please cast your vote by clicking on the voting link. The scale is from 1 to 5. 5 is the maximum score. So next we'll return to solar power glory. Paolo, are you ready now? Hello?
Yes, I am here. Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
With the help of Patricia, and then we'll be able to show you the slides.
Yes, I'm gonna
Thank
share
you.
the screen. Give me a second, please. Can you see it? Everyone?
Okay.
Yes, I can see the screen.
I can definitely see
Perfect.
that.
I will
Okay.
mute myself, but I will ask you please to tell me just next when I have to.
I will
move
say
it.
next. Thank you very much for the trouble. Well, thank you very much. This is the Solar Power Glory SPG, and we offer solar cars. And we offer solar car solutions to all EV makers. This is something we have been doing. And please, next. Okay. So when talking about solar car, everybody will be giving me a strange look and look at me. Are you doing solar car? Are you just insanely crazy, or are you insanely rich? So you're squandering your money on something that's insane. People will think about this kind of solar car, which is technologically right, but I mean, it just squeezes human body to a very, very small space to make sure that the car is at a very minimum weight, so the car can run forever with the solar power. And the next. or something like that. It's better, but I mean, it's still not a real car. These two images are actually from the Australian solar car competition, and people will try to compete against each other and see how many miles can you travel with solar alone. So solar essentially is a dream of human beings for our energy independence. But on vehicles, that's no wonder people gave me those strange look. It was exactly like 10 years ago when I came back with US doctoral degree in energy and come back to China and tell everybody I was doing solar. People will say, okay, solar shower machine or something. And that was totally misunderstanding of solar. And today I'm doing the same thing on solar vehicles. And I'm going to show you what kind of solar vehicle we are offering right now. Next, please, Patricia. So earlier this year, we offered this car to Japan. And this is a lightweight car, or Japanese call them K car. K means it's lightweight, and 1 kilowatt of hour of electricity can run for about 15 kilometers or about 10 miles if you are in the United States. So we offer solar solution on the top of the car and the integrated entire the car. So the car can essentially run for 20 to 30 kilometers every day without plug-in charging. And what's that car used for? Next, please. And this K car is equipped with those revolving door seats. This is what we call the welfare seats. Its image or its a scenario for using this vehicle is for picking up the elders from their houses to the nursing homes in the daytime and send them back home after in the afternoon. So they need this kind of vehicle. And this kind of vehicle runs for about 20 kilometers a day. And solar is a perfect energy solution for them. Next, please. And we have also done the other things for Japanese customers. This is a Japanese customer needs for the delivery car, and they would need solar to supply their energy, charge their battery. And next, please, was delivered, and it's huge media. And we make solar something like the Lego part. So everybody, or all kinds of electric vehicle makers, can use our solar solutions and plug in and then use on the top of the cars. This is a auto show near Tokyo in Japan last month. And then the blue part in the middle is our solar assemble parts. Basically, we have the solar as part of the vehicle and just integrated onto the car and ready to use. And it's applicable to major parts or patterns of these vehicles. Next, please.
Yeah, please wrap up.
Please what?
Please wrap up.
Okay, sure.
She means hurry.
Oh, okay. Okay, and this is what we call the low-speed electric vehicle. That's something we're doing right now. We're powering that as well. It does not need to charge. Next, please. And it's more exciting that we're focusing on some cars like a passenger car, like Tesla or something like that. And we're trying to make those panel pieces of solar. Next, please. And this is the first version of the solar material we call solar skin in 2020. And then we made it. It's a solar kind of new material on the auto bodies. Next, please. And we changed it on the top of a Range Rover and use solar to power something within the Range Rover. But in the future, we'll be able to power the
thank
battery.
you.
Next, please.
Yeah, thank you, Tao. Thank you.
That's it.
We'll open the floor to the judges.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So
thanks, Patricia.
Gaio, your question.
Thank you, Belinda. Tal, I'm really sorry you didn't have the opportunity to present in the full capacity. Nevertheless, my question consider your traction since you've been in operating business. So tell us a bit about traction and of course, show us your financial projections for the future.
So this year we have sold about 50 low-speed electric vehicles around the world. We're making sure that we have a distribution network in the United States and in Southeast Asia. We're looking forward to have 500 LSE low-speed electric vehicles next year. So that will be like 12 times larger than what we have this year. So the amount, each car we're selling about $5,000 US. So looking forward, we're looking at about $20 million US of revenue next year. And the reason we can achieve that big growth is because we're serving those big distributors in each country. So they're buying those demo cars for now, and then they're giving us feedback, mostly very, very positive for now. And we're looking forward to having them to come back to us with a larger quantity of order, which will be 10 times what we order right now.
Just a small addition. What's your current revenue, your year-to-date revenue?
It's about 1 million RMB yuan, so that would be like $120 or something this year.
Thank you very much.
Okay. The next question is from Helen.
Yep.
Helen.
Yes, my question is, have you got the permission from China government? In other words, is there any regulation policy for this kind of car?
For off-road car, for low-speed electric vehicle, there's no such regulation because it's essentially off-road. But for on those passenger cars or high-speed cars, yes, there is. So that's why we're working with those automakers to supply them power system, but we are selling those off-road cars. So to answer your question, yes, on the passenger cars, there's a regulation. We have to work around that with the automakers.
In your progress, which year is this kind of car will be launched in the market?
Very good. We started last July.
July.
So yeah, last July. So Mr. Vanka, the question you asked, I had to give you like a time frame. We started last July, and this is what we achieved so far. The company was founded in 2020 after the pandemic started.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The next question is from Patricia, followed by the last question from Dr. Katerina.
Wonderful, thank you. So my question would be two actually. First one is, what is the duration of these batteries, of these solar panels?
Oh, good. 25 years.
Wow, okay. And what is the cost on top of it for the selling of the cars? Becomes the car then actually much more expensive?
Good. We are
the
making
cost of production.
Yes, thank you very much. It's about $400 for now as a whole system. And then we're doing the system to an automaker. We make sure that the solar system entire cost is no more than 5% of the total cost of the car. So that will make it commercially make sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
Katerina?
Compliments for the solution, very impressive. Just tell us about the market saturation and the competition you have.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much. We're entering the market through the DTC, direct to customers overseas. We're using Alibaba, Facebook, YouTube or something to sell this kind of a car. And then we are meeting competitions from basically two categories. First is car makers. Toyota is launching their solar car for this year. And then we have Lightyear in the Netherlands and Solo. And these are two new car makers, but we have not yet seen their real cars yet, only demo. And the second category falls into those Chinese solar makers. They can easily say, I want to go to the automakers and supply their solar. But the thing is, our technology is really on the vehicle integrated solar voltaic materials, so solar scheme. So we know how to laminate and integrate solar to make sure it meets all the requirements of vehicles, moving vehicles. So this is the competition we're facing, two categories, and then we are defending against them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tao, for your presentation.
Thank you, Belinda. Sorry for the trouble to all of you. Sorry about that.
It's okay. All these happen from time to time. The next startup is Trips Hong Kong. Hello, Trips.
Yes, good evening. Let me try to share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So good evening. My name is Ludivine, and I'm a co-founder of Troops Hong Kong. At Troops, our ambition is to make hospitality and retail work more flexible, reliable, and human through technology. The Troops app connects in real time vetted professionals with short-term mission in F&B, retail, and hospitality. If you have been in Hong Kong recently, you will have seen staff wanted signs in every shops and coffee and restaurant out there. Over 80% of F&B employers say they experience staffing shortage. There are 77,000 unfilled vacancies in the F&B industry today. This is 10% more than last year, and this represents 30% of the registered F&B workforce. With an unemployment rate of 3% and over 40,000 service professionals having left the industry during COVID, the situation is not going to improve shortly. So staffing is, in short, the #1 concern for the F&B retail and hospitality business in Hong Kong and in Truth worldwide. Truth is here to help those businesses save time in recruitment and payroll administration, better manage risk by taking over part-time contracting, compliance, and payroll, and save cost by enabling more flexibility. With Truth's on-demand solution, business can have the confidence to staff where needed and when needed. Meanwhile, for hospitality professionals, the industry does not offer sustainable, flexible opportunities. Part-timers do not have visibility in Hong Kong in general, and I think Asia, on how much they will be earning. They know the rate per hour, but the number of hours really depend on the employers when they will get paid, and they do not have a clear legal status or access to benefits. So, sorry, I cannot move. So Truth is here to help those service professionals who are looking for an extra shift, retirees or moms who are looking for flexibility, and students who are looking to gain some experience by providing more security with access to short-term mission across multiple employers and industries, with more transparency on mission rates and payment time, and the access to rewards and a community. In Hong Kong alone, the market is worth over 22 billion. As we have been planning our soft launch, the early traction has been very encouraging. More than 50 clients have signed up to be part of the market test. We were targeting 25. It's simple. Every business we talk to want to enroll into the app. Our business model is quite simple. We take a commission of every hour bill. And we can grow the business quickly and exponentially. Notably by leveraging on the funding team that combines over 20 years of experience in F&B and retail, over 25 years of experience in technology and software development, and over 20 years of experience in human resources in APAC. So at this point in time, we're ready to launch with like a test launch basically in January with those 50 initial clients. So yes, join us to build the future of hospitality in Hong Kong and beyond.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. John, yeah, please ask your
Yes,
question.
thank you, Belinda. I have one general question about the competitive environment. I'm not a specialist on the sector, but I certainly see that in almost every industry, there are a lot of recruitment firms, headhunters, whatever you want to call them. Are you not facing a lot of perhaps established incumbents in the recruitment business? Isn't this a very competitive business to enter into? And the second part of that question is this something that you can do alone, or is this more sort of a technology or something that you might partner with an existing participant in that industry? Thank you.
So on the competition part, the first piece is that we're a full service provider. We don't only do recruitment, we also provide the payroll and the compliance, the contracting, and so on. So there are no competitor in that space as of now in Hong Kong. There are non-tech agencies, tech job board like JobsDB. And there are also a couple of apps, especially MoveUp, that does provide the recruitment part. So you can post an ad and find a part-timer, but they do not provide the payment and follow through on whether that person show up, whether they have the rights to work in Hong Kong, whether they are COVID vaccinated, all those type of questions. So ultimately for the F&B and retail industry, you do spend a lot of time and money on recruiting part-timers, screening them. Then when they show up, sometimes they are not properly trained, they don't have the right system. Then to pay them, it's usually those part-timers have to be paid weekly. So like you don't get their name right, you need to issue checks. It's basically extremely inefficient.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Patricia, followed by Waldemir, the last question.
My question is on the liability. Who is taking the liability of the potential part-timers? That's number one. And number two is, what's the screening process for those part-timers?
So the liability sits with us pretty much. So that's part of the service. And in terms of the screening process, there is an in-app screening process where when you onboard, you have to provide your like HKID. Basically, there is a series of questions that you go through, and depending on the answer, you either can proceed directly into the app, or you need to schedule a call with us so that we further check your rights to work in Hong Kong and so on. So for each of those steps, especially the visa and the COVID vaccination questions, documentation needs to be provided. So it's simple. It's just a picture of the card and of the vaccination record to be provided in the app. And for some special visa like IANG and so on, we arrange a call and we further check the rights to work in the industry in Hong Kong. The second, sorry, can you remind me the second question?
Both of them you already answered. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you for your presentation. It was great. I have two questions. First one is, you said that you are taking commission on every hour bill. Can you explain how much do you take and how do you monitor, obviously, that that the money obviously comes in where it needs to? And the second question is, what is part of your pitch when it comes to obviously pitching these different employers and explaining them how much do you increase the employee retention? So how much do you promise? For example, I don't know how much in Hong Kong in particular employees stay at their job in the industry, and how much do you promise to increase that? Thank you.
So on the commission side, when you onboard in the app, you can basically onboard as a trooper or as a business. So when you onboard as a business and you create a mission, as you create your mission and you choose the number of hours, the type of role you're looking for, potentially add some elements, the rate will update. And for each role, the rate for the business and the rate for the potential employee in the back end is different. So basically, our margin is set depending on the type of role that you recruit for. So for a waiter, let's say the employer is going to have a base rate of $80 per hour, while the employee will make $65 per hour. It's in Hong Kong dollars. So, and then the employer has the option to increase that rate. Like again, when he creates a mission or after he has created, if he doesn't have enough traction, by adding an allowance or just by increasing that base rate by a certain percentage if he wants the mission to be fulfilled quickly or if it's during a peak time. The second question about retention, we only focus on part-time. So that's the important piece. We only focus on short-term mission. We are not looking at recruiting permanent employees. But this should increase their retention for their permanent employees, because it's very important for those type of business in the service industry to have a flexible payroll. So what we are telling them is that with us, they can have the confidence to make their payroll more flexible. And this is also going to drive retention of their permanent employees, because basically the sharing of benefits among those permanent employees is going to be increased. If you have revenue share, for instance, on the service charge, you're going to split it if you have 10 permanent and 5 part-time between your 10 permanent, and they're going to make like more money by default. You're also going to be able to focus more of your resources on your permanent employees, because you don't have to spend so much time on your part-time workforce.
Thank you, Troops. Yeah. We now have 3 startups presented their products. Judges, please cast a vote when your memory is still fresh. So the next one to present is Fire Alert.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to share the screen. Oh.
Okay.
Can I share the screen? No. I have difficulty sharing my screen. Is the okay? Can I share? Scarce.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. We'll come back to you, David.
Okay.
The
I
next
don't
one
think
is
Troops has stopped its screen sharing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Troops has to stop the screen sharing before we can go to the next one.
Yeah. Troops, are you with us?
Yes, so yeah, okay, I found it.
Okay. Yeah, David.
Okay, just can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Oh, wait a minute. It's slow. Wait. It doesn't seem to okay. Just a minute. Hello.
Yeah. Can you put it in a full screen mode, please?
I pushed it, but it's yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it. Please go ahead.
It's slow. It seems just a minute. Okay, can you see the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm David from the Fire Alert. Basically, we provide new generational digital fire system. The conventional type fire system suffer a few pain points. First of all, the data, the information are piecemeal, and it's hard to get and to understand, and also difficult to dispatch to the people who want. So let's see how we can help. Okay, let's see what we get. That's the traditional fire system, and we make a fire alarm digital twin, adding the wireless sensing, the thermal technology, and also the smart sensing device. That's what we have been done. Now, The technology we use have the mobile brings us the real-time notification of fire alert, comprehensive information, intuitive and easy to use system. While the wireless sensing give us a long-range, low-power sensing, so result in low deployment and cost-effective system, and it could cover remote area. The thermal technology we introduced enable the rapid detection of fire and overheat monitoring, and also can be deployed in open space. Health monitor wearables could monitor fireman's body temperature, heartbeat, GPS location. If needed, firemen could send SOS signal for help so that we can watch the back. Our target domain includes the One Belt, One Road countries and commercial sector, including real estate developers, and also temporary sites such as construction site and commercial renovation plaza, and limited infrastructure like those old and historical buildings. The new smart fire system will impact the community. First of all, the general public could enjoy reliable and cost-effective service and comprehensive fire information, and also the light monitoring for the firemen. People could use and participate and mine and take step the service. And the government or country could have better control on their people's data. Our founder, Kevin Ng, and this is me, David, the CTO. I managed all the technology of the system. Lately, they won the Asian Smart App Bronze Award, and also we are representing China to compete in United Nations World Summit Award, SWA. Basically, that's our presentation.
Okay, thank you. So any questions from the panel of judges? Gaio?
Thank you, Belinda. David, a really great presentation. I mean, right on time. But I have two small additions, you know.
Right.
Can you tell us a bit about your current revenue, and of course, a bit about your competitors as well? You know, what differentiates you amongst competitors, and what is generally your differentiation strategy?
Okay, basically, we don't really have a company in such a way we're doing the cooperation. Maybe I tell you the situation right now. Okay, most of the time when doing the fire engine system, there are a few major players, a few of them. Let's name it, something like Honeywell, Notifier, Johnson Controls, Schneider, and Siemens. They do the hardware stuff, and they would continue to do it just as they were. What we do is that we do the value add on the back of them. In other words, we are in a very situation in such a way, they do exactly the tender as before. And whoever take the tender, they come to us. So basically we are the subcontractor, but we have a very unique situation that basically, I would say most of those tender, the back end is from us. So we don't really have much competition. There are a couple of reasons. If you want to know, I can tell you that. And about the revenue, this kind of new generation system is too new in such a way that even Hong Kong government, the law is not that ready. They try to move it. First of all, we did the project 2 years ago. Last year, they changed the rules such that they allow wireless fire system. They just changed the law. In the past 9 months, we are very unlucky with the COVID-19, and basically the whole government is freeze for 9 months. We didn't do much, but in July, we start presenting our system to EMSD, fire department, and also the ASD. In such a way, the government is trying to get those obstacles ready. So next year, we expect quite a few of tender with this kinds of digital fire system next year. So we are very bullish on that. We know that. In terms of wireless solution, we start educating the system now. We got quite a few people actively asking for money, also from overseas, namely Malaysia and Singapore. We didn't do anything. They come to us. We are the only one have this kind of situation. And we expect to do something like UK and also Japan next year, early next year. That's it.
Thank you very much, David. I surely have additional questions, but they are not complying with this event. So I will leave it up to Katerina and John to continue their part.
Okay. They will. John will ask the last question. So Katerina, your question?
Okay, I was just wondering, do you have specific partnerships in your business model in order to help you reach this market faster? And how big is your marketing team? Who is in charge of that? Who is covering the marketing activities?
Okay, too bad. When we start, actually we didn't really start it, but we were a technical guy. We develop a solution, and suddenly and far people asked for more, and then we got people. So my company is technical guy. We have only three technical people. We don't have any sales team. But when we start to face it, you need to expand the marketing. Now we have quite a few companies come to ask us. Some of them is quite big. Is telecom, and also because when we're doing this, we need the internet connection, and we already have people asking as a partner. Before that, we have partner of the existing fire system channel, but they only focus on the wider existing market. We would like to extend for this one and also the wireless. So we need a lot of picture partners, and we start doing some POC and pricing with quite a few of the partners. So that's what we need more people in the marketing, because at the moment we simply don't. I am the only one to do all those marketing. I'm not that particularly good at that. I must say that.
Thank you. John, your question.
Yeah, I hope I didn't miss it, but what exactly is your pricing and revenue model? Are these sort of like individual projects that you price like a consultancy contract, or do you have a more standardized price times quantity? What is that revenue model?
Okay, basically the revenue model, I need to talk about it. For the government, we basically use the subscription model. So even for the government, they buy 2 years service and they're going to renew this year. So basically, subscription model is what we did. Now, another thing that I will mention about that, we are not going to do everything by ourselves because it takes time. Because for the fire system, you need the license, the technician, and other things. All those are regular, you need license. So what we try to do is that we work with the existing vendor. They do exactly what they do with the hardware. We work with them, provide the system at the back. So we come together in such a way, do things. We don't need to have a lot of investment and a lot of people. We simply work with the channel, and it helps us to expand a lot faster, both locally and overseas, because I cannot go to Japan and establish a company and spend 3 years time with tens of millions to develop the business. We work with the existing channel. That's our
And so
strategy.
you just price that as sort of like a contract. If you're providing the back end, based upon your estimate of time and resources. Very much
Basically,
a project orientation.
Actually, it's quite easy. Actually, it's a SaaS system. We put in the interface and extract the information to the cloud, and it's already done. So basically, if you have a tender, technically we can do it in 1 week, because it's the cloud-based system SaaS. We plug in and open the account and get those things layout, and that's it. All those hardware installation are done by the partner channel partner.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you. The next team is Ryan Eno. Yosri, are you with us? Yosri?
Yes.
Yeah. David,
Okay,
you have
let
to
me.
say.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see my screen, please?
No, not yet.
We can see now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone, good evening wherever you are. So first of all, I would like to warmly thank Belinda for giving us such opportunity to introduce our project. I am Yusri Ben Saleh. I'm from Tunisia. I'm currently based in China. Today I'm going to introduce like our platform, which is Refmino, which is like a crowdsourcing AI-based talent connecting platform. Okay, starting from analyzing 16 reasons why startups fails, like we can find many reasons behind, but here like we tried like to mark with the yellow stars some issues that we are treating in on our platform, like to help the startups founders to succeed in their entrepreneurship journey. And here like we are canalizing into four categories: training, workforce, collaborative and open innovation, investment, and recruitment. So in our platform, we are working on these four categories to automate the innovation and entrepreneurship process to help the students and the startup founders to succeed in their entrepreneurship journey. So Refmino is a company based in China, here in Xi'an and in Tunisia, which is like AI-based crowdsourcing and social media e-learning platform that empower global innovation and entrepreneurship. So the aim from launching this company is to link Africa with the rest of the world, and also to democratize the innovation and entrepreneurship, like to give resources accessible for everyone. So Refmino is a network of startups, mentors, talents, corporates, incubators, VCs, and so on. So as like the company is based in Africa and also in China. So Refmino is offering a solution which is like the digital ecosystem, which is business centric, which is like providing learning management system for students and also for SMEs and startups, like to upskill, whether like for students to upskill themselves, and also like for startups and SMEs to upskill their, let's say, workforce or their like the teams, and also is working on like providing matchmaking like engine to link like the startups with the resources, and also like to link the startup founders where they can find their co-founders and so on. It's also seems like it's linking two different ecosystem, like in Africa and Asia for the time being. So it's helping like students through our platform to connect directly with Chinese universities, like to reduce like the gap between like Asia and Africa. And like we in this platform, users can upload 1 minute video, so it can use like our AI engine to make the matchmaking between the game players and the innovation and entrepreneurship system. So our products, it's about LMS learning management systems for our users. Also matchmaking engine that's making the link and the matchmaking between our actors, startups, deals. It's kind of resources on our platform, and also like it's environments for students and universities to connect. So it's digital ecosystem, which is business centric. Here, like briefly, like what the users can find on our platform for students and founders. They can connect with growth opportunities. They can find co-founders, mentors. They can get direct peer-to-peer mentorship with mentors and so on. For startups to build prototypes together with 1,500 companies, train their staff and their like workforce and so on. For enterprise, of course, to benchmark their most impactful solution and to get in direct contact with startups. Here, like briefly, like overview about our B2B and B2C, like for our users, for companies, startups, students, professional mentors, and investors. If we have time, maybe we can emphasize on that. Here, the screenshot from our hub, where users they can log in and they can just like directly they can find like our platform, and they can find the services and they enjoy the features offered on the platform. Our business model is like freemium, like free service with possibility to upgrade to more advanced features on model. Here's some testimonial from first is investor, the second is startup founder, the third is students. So 3 different users on our platform. And if we have time, we can also play some videos for testimonials.
Thank you, Yosrin. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Patricia.
Yes, thank you so much. Really great presentation. And I think that you are capturing a lot. One thing that I'm only noticing is that you have to, I don't know if it has been already targeted in terms of industries or in terms of what the storytelling is behind. And I'm just mentioning it because otherwise we're gonna get a LinkedIn or a Fiverr where you have an amazing cause that you want to do. You basically want to connect all the ecosystems, and I'm absolutely for it, especially for the students. My only way is you don't want it to be one big digital yellow pages. You want to focus on something. So my question is, are you going to navigate it into the industries, or is it, for instance, I don't know, for instance, for the SDGs or ESGs, or what is behind it? Because I'm missing that part.
Okay, thank you for your question. Actually, in our platform, we mainly focus on the e-learning side, and also to empowering AI engine to make the recommendation between startups with investors and also students with resources in terms of education and how they can connect directly with startups based on the input of their profile. Yes.
Yeah. Please go on.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I said in our platform, we mainly focus on the e-learning, how we provide our LMS, which is jointly developed with one Chinese Beijing-based company. This LMS, to provide this environment for startups, for SMEs, and also students to upskill themselves, and also to make the matchmaking between the startups with investors based on the input of their profiles, and also to link the students with to join early stage startups, and to make the matchmaking between students and startups in efficient way through automation using AI.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the only thing that I've meant is basically to break it down. Maybe it's only because now you had a short time of presenting, but I would be definitely interested in seeing and how it is break down in a structured way, because it's a huge amount of topics that you are covering at the same time, and which are amazing because they are definitely very well needed. So I'm looking forward to the end product, actually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. The next question is from Helen, followed by Eddie Chow. The last questions. Helen.
Hi, thank you for your introduction. What is your business model? This is the first question. And the second one is, I noticed that there are a lot of accelerators and incubators who set up such a kind of online platform for talents. What is your special competitive advantages comparing with others? And a focus, industry focus?
Okay, thank you for your question. Actually, our business model is subscription model, where all users they can have their own accounts, and they can move from freemium to premium models. They can there is some subscription fee they paid yearly, so they can enjoy more features on our platform. Yes. Regarding to your question, for the partners, let's say incubators and VC and so on, so they use our platform to directly connect. For example, for incubators to find more startups and so on. So he can just navigate on our platform. He can find a list of startups based on their, of course, in his needs. He can scroll and he can filter and using, for example, the invested amount of money, the industries. Also, he can have idea about the structure of the startups and so on.
Okay, any industry focus?
The industry focus, like we now for the time being, and based on our KPIs, like the startups that are mainly on the field of edtech and the field of fintech.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. So
Yeah. So,
is it me?
Eddie, yeah. Your question.
Okay. Before the question, actually, I know what you're doing. Actually, for me, you are just connecting. You're just providing a platform that connect different areas. Because as I know from education perspective, or even for corporate training, actually, there's only you are only focused on the platform. So I would like to know more about what is your unique proposition. Yeah, because many people just do it. Can do the different platform together actually. Yeah, even I know many startup that already have the LMS and then to connect different parties. Yeah, so actually have you think about what is your unique propositions from the market, and also from AI perspective, you need to find out the domain expert. So have you found any domain expert from one perspective or one communities? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get the second question.
Because you are using AI to do the matchings. So because for AI, actually, you need to build from the domain expert to build up your knowledge base. So what is your what is the domain expert that can bring to your market, or to prove your AI algorithm and become AI better?
Okay, so okay, thank you for your question. Actually, for our platform, like we started like as connecting platform. Like platform is kind of crowdsourcing platform where we are like these game players. They can create their profile on our platform and they can find resources. For example, like for startups, like to connect with like for example with IT talents, and also for startups to connect with enterprise, and also to find programs, for example, like competitions like for startups, resources, for example, Amazon AWS and so on. So we started like as connecting platform. Then like we jointly developed like LMS. So we integrate this LMS onto our platform with Beijing-based company. So this LMS, like we integrate on our platform, so these users, so we can give like the business-centric and user experience. So like for the user, he can navigate into our platform and he can upscale, for example, upscale like his like workforce, and also like he can get like and he can get accessible for the resources in our platform. Regards like the AI engine. AI engine like works like how to smartly connect and how to smartly automate the open innovation like process. How we can connect startups with other startups based on their needs. How we can like help these students to early join other startups and so on. So the AI engine, like we use like the input of our users, what he want to achieve, and like smartly recommend whether in terms of education or in terms of entrepreneurship experience with other startups and so on. So this is like the scenario we follow.
Okay, thank you, Yosrin. Judges, please cast your vote. And we have to move on to the next presentations. The African Drum by Philip Leung. Philip?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, Eli bonjour, Eli bonjour, Eli bonjour, Eli bonjour. Okay, Eli bonjour means welcome. Now it's just waiting for the close of the share, and then we can start our program, our introduction.
Okay. So, Yosri, please exit your presentation. Who's that?
Let's my colleague Aurora to introduce our project.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Hong Kong Times. On behalf of Sharing Training Service Limited, I'd like to present our own project. Please hold on.
Give me a few seconds.
A few seconds.
Share. Okay, let me share. And then here. Sorry. Yes, yeah.
Just take your time and click the PPT.
Yes, it's coming.
So sorry.
No worries. In the meantime, you can play the drums.
Oh yeah, I can
Yes.
left hand.
Very energetic.
I couldn't agree
see
more with
the
Patricia on that one.
PowerPoint?
Can you see that?
Yeah, we see the first page.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
here
thank
we
you.
are. Here we are.
Thank you, Mr. Lan. So I'd like to present our project, a solution for 3H, healthy, happy, and harmony retire life in China. Be prepared for the challenge of 3 billion 60 plus in 2025 in China, the most serious burden of elderly society is medical service. The opportunity huge amount of government resources had been put to quality and innovative elderly programs amongst all cities and districts in mainland China since 2021. Deep drumming is a set of experiential learning approach based on cultural African drumming, combined with module management practice to achieve success, progress, and happiness during the process of drumming. There are two research studies in different years. A startup unit of medical school of Chinese University of Hong Kong. And the other one is a psychology department of University of South Africa, UNISA. The result is positive. And there are 7 kinds of difference what we have done. The first one, Pink Ribbon China, among 20 cities in mainland China since 2016. Sorry. Second, we are the global general agents of African drumming facilitators certificate course issued by China Academy of Management Science, CAMS, a national accreditation skill certification. Third, we are the Guinness Record, the largest jumping assembly credited on 27 May 2018 in Hong Kong. Fourth, we have our own drum facility in mainland China and Hong Kong. We have our Hong Kong Green Organization certification, otherwise auditory certificate with excellent level. 5, we have 18 years on hand experience in inheritance and developing African drumming in Hong Kong, Macau, and mainland China.
Okay.
Okay. 6, we cooperate with the Stone Learning Department of United States of Society African to set up a global grading examination system of African drumming. We are the Asia solo agent of the above examination. 7, we are
okay. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you're well.
Okay, finish that one.
Just welcomes.
Okay. Questions from John first.
Hello, John.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that was extremely interesting, and I think it's really different. We all talk about the demographic changes, but I don't see many startups focusing on the elderly other than indirectly through healthcare. So it's quite unique in that regard. I have two short questions. My first question is, what is your motivation? I mean, is this really sort of like a startup business for you that you want to make commercially successful, or is this more akin to being a social good where you're as interested in contributing to society as making money? And the second part of that question is, and it's conditional on your answer to the first, is, what will be your revenue financial model or financial goals in this effort?
All right. The first question is we are looking for both. That means we have to earn to have a financial support and money, and we have to gain money to support the business and to serve the society. Because this is what we are going to do. And we found out that the people are getting more stress and then more depression, especially elderly in Hong Kong or in China as well. So that's why we in 2016 we are dealing with the drumming in China to connect with the social service department like that in China, and to provide all this training for the social workers and let them to develop the drumming to the society, to the community. And that will already got the return. They have so many people asking for drums, to buying drums, and asking for training up their social worker as a qualified facilitators. So this is a return. But also at the same time, we have return from doing corporate training for team building. This is the main income source of the corporate training.
Just a quick follow-up, just to clarify. So do you think in the future, your main source of revenue will come from maybe local government budgets who want to provide this as a social service to their community, as opposed to private investors?
I think it's few direction. One of the direction is from the local government funding resources. This is quite a number in every district in China. And another point is we have developed our drums as a for sales, right? For everyone, they need to drum, they need to buy. And this drum is have a device to measure like our blood pressure, to measure our muscles. This is what we are developing with the Chinese University Medical School.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is from Dr. Katerina, and then Helen will wrap up the Q&A sections for African Drum. Katerina, please.
Yes, I love this connection with between actually drumming and well-being. I like the idea behind it. But related to this presentation, just tell me what kind of investment are you looking for at this moment, at this stage, and where will that get you?
For this stage, we are going to develop 5 regions, 5 cities as our main regions to develop to the next stage is another 20 cities in China. So we are looking for is $5 million US for the funding. So that means it's about 1 million for each city to build up our marketing team, to train the facilitators, and also for the research.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Helen.
Thank you for your introduction. I think your business plan will be implemented only in China market, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For the beginning stage, we are Hong Kong and then China. So but for this next stage, we are going to do with other countries as well, and also we have a certification program for the qualified facilitators. And at the moment now, we also have inquiry from people from Africa. They are drummers and they need the qualifications. So this is another resources.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
Thank you, Brenda.
your presentation. Yeah.
Thank you.
The next is In a Way Prefabricate by Andrew Bryan. Andrew, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. Let me share a screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Super. Hold on just one more second. I'm trying to. Okay, is it full page? Great. Thank you so much and greeting for inviting us to participate. I want to mention the two other founders. I'm one of the founders, the two other founders on this a conference call as well. I'm calling from New York, so greetings from New York, where it's very early. IP House is a ESG-focused prefab construction tech and real estate development platform. Our aspirations are global. We're starting with New York City with plans to expand nationally, then globally. I've lived in China for like the last 10 years, or 14 years actually. I've been in New York for the last 6 months. But we have ambitions for both markets or global markets in general. We've been focusing specifically on something that's you find a situation in dense urban built out areas, which is infill lots or leftover space. For New York, which we've been doing a lot of due diligence on over the last couple of years, we were surprised to find there's over 570 million square feet of vacant land, and which has been sitting unused for decades in some cases. And this land can be repurposed and used for providing additional housing stock for New York, for example, where there's a huge demand, especially for affordable housing, which is one of the submarkets we're focused on. The problem with building in infill lots using standard construction is it takes a really long time. It's really disruptive to local neighborhoods. In New York, the streets are very narrow. In Hong Kong and other places, you see the same thing where, pulling in heavy equipment to do the construction, it's really disruptive to the local fabric. What we've developed is a technology that is fast to construct, offers a fair amount of flexibility in comparison to volumetric prefab, doesn't require heavy equipment for installation, can integrate use of unskilled labor as a part of the construction process, and is very ESG focused in the sense of looking at what we can do to contribute on our part to mitigation of global warming through low carbon footprint building technologies. This is an overview of a study for what we're doing in New York for an infill lot. This is a multifamily home with or low rise with ground floor community services. This is something for the assemblage itself, including utility hookups, et cetera, to the city is 50% faster than current construction practices. And it's something that's not achievable using container technology, prefab technology, or volumetric prefab technology. The core of what we're doing too is to be very cognizant of price points, be very competitive in terms of making sure that we're we're competitive with local construction costs and also prefab construction costs. Overall, we're more efficient end to end. So for design, construction, 50% faster. For demolition too, one of the things that's often overlooked with building construction is building life cycles. A strong part of our focus is the ability to upgrade and building facades, interior systems, and also to recycle the whole building itself, working within a circular economy perspective. A part of this also involves a partner company we're working with in the US has on building a digital toolkit, which will automate the whole design through direct to manufacturing to logistics process, and making that more efficient across the board. Right now, for what we're looking at in general is 30% to 40% cheaper with a 20% margin for design and manufacturing, 15% return on real estate development projects over 2 years. And as mentioned before, heavy focus on circular economies. Our approach is asset light, low capex model, and cash flow positive within 2 years. This is a projected growth model from where we are now to 2027.
Yeah.
The
Let's
bottom.
wrap up.
Okay. For market traction, what we're focusing on for New York, this is a model we repeat in other parts of the world. We've been actively engaging with Habitat for Humanity, as well as community land trusts within New York, and real estate development groups actually within New York that are in the affordable housing space to look at JVs or partnerships for development. And lastly, we have a really stellar international team with decades of experience, including ex-CEO of American Woodmark, advisor from CBRE, a lobbyist from the Hill in DC, and someone from Turner, legal counsel from Turner Construction. And with that said, I'll wrap up.
Okay, thank you. So any questions from the panel? Dora? Yeah. Dora?
No, you're on mute.
Yeah, please unmute yourself.
Still on mute.
No,
you need
John,
to click the button
okay.
on the recording.
John?
Do you want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the presentation. I understand almost all of it. I certainly understand the outcomes and the benefits. The one thing I'm missing is what is different about your physical construction process that allows you to achieve these very different outcomes. That's the part that hasn't actually twigged in my head, the actual physical process. How is it really different from a construction? Why don't you need heavy equipment, et cetera, et cetera?
A lot of it has to do with the panel sizes and proprietary connectors that we've developed. We have a patent filed for the connectors, and we're happy to share more information with you or anyone that's interested regarding the details of the construction technology. For New York, for example, I think for other parts of the world, the go-to has been a container or box volumetric prefab, which is you build out a box with everything fit out in it, and you ship it to site with and install with a crane. There's a certain inefficiency to that in terms of you're shipping a lot of air for one thing. We're more of like an IKEA model where everything's flat pack panel technology, more efficient in terms of logistics and storage and assemblage on site, just easier, given the panel sizes and the connector system, easier to assemble by hand. We do have a partner manufacturer in the US and also some partner manufacturers in China. The China market's much different from the US market, just want to emphasize that. And we recognize that. So whereas what we're doing in the US is focused on affordable housing. China market would be a different story, but the construction technology is the same as just, really panel sizes and proprietary connectors that tie the panels together. Our goal overall is what we're doing too is just think of IKEA, but even simpler, which sounds crazy, when you think about it in regards to architecture. But we've really worked on optimizing the connectors so that there's less fastening required on site, and it just goes up, it goes up much easier and allows for use of local labor as well too, for doing interior install as well as like moving panels around, etc.
Okay. Yeah, Dora, are you with us?
Hi. Yes, can you hear me now? Thank God. Yeah. Thanks God. Now, two questions. I love your presentations. I think this is a trend. This is the way to go. Now, in terms of the difficulties, what is the challenge that you are facing at the moment? This is my first questions. The second questions I have is, considering New York, when you say that you have like these vacant land and they are like quite small plots of land, they might be owned by individual landlords. Am I right? Yeah. They are not owned by a government. So the target who you're selling to is individual landlord. No,
actually, to go one by one, starting with the second question. A lot of land is actually held by HPD, a city government organization. HBD is really focused on, and NYCHA and other city organizations, they're really focused on providing needs for communities. They hold a lot of lands, and they basically will give the land away free to CLTs or organizations like Habitat for Humanity, as long as there's complete business development model in place. So part of our interest and focus has been on procurement of land, working with CLTs or partnering with CLTs or non-for-profits like Habitat. In regards to barriers to entry, I think in two markets respectively, say the U.S. market, prefab is like actually I think behind China in terms of the amount of investment going into it on part of the government vis-a-vis incentives or whatnot, although that's beginning to change. I think the barrier to entry is largely just lack of awareness of of prefab, being able to come in at lower price points, competitive, et cetera. What we've done though is a lot of due diligence over the last couple of years. I've talked with multiple people in the affordable housing real estate development space. That's why we have someone from CBRE on our advisory board. He really loves what we're doing. We've really tested the market to see that what we're doing is viable for New York. And we were very surprised. New York is New York. It's like a really difficult city to build in, and there's a lot of innovation that's been happening here. There's relatively no one doing what we're doing right now within the city. Everything's really focused on volumetric prefab, and there's a lot of hesitance about engaging with that just because of costs, logistics, other factors as well.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Yeah, Katerina, please ask your question.
Yeah, just a quick question. Do you have any limitation regarding the resources, considering this really fast expansion that you're planning on? And what is the next milestone for you to reach?
So for the U.S. market, U.S. market, and sorry, I forgot to mention about the China market in the previous response, but I'll loop a response and address the China market as well. We have two different manufacturing partnerships. One is actually US based for the US market. The other one is there's a really big company, and a prefab company in China has a tremendous track record in China. They're a company that we would partner with in the future for developments in China. I think all the companies that we've partnered with, we vetted carefully with engineers that we're working with, as well as other consultants and advisors, and they all have a tremendous capability to scale. So they have a tremendous output capacity. I think for China too, for the U.S. market, there's a very prominent cabinetry manufacturer that we're and outdoor staircase manufacturer that we're working with for the U.S. market. Just the price points are much more competitive than what we're finding in the U.S. So there'll also be the case where there'll be for the U.S. market use of working with partnering with Chinese companies as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Andrew, for your presentation and answer.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Judges, please cast a vote. We have already done 7, and now we move on the number 8 startup, iBonus Limited.
Okay,
hi, Keith. You with us?
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Can we do full screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Our technology is called is a mobile digital wallet technology for retail CBDC, central bank digital currency. You heard about the digital currency in the world. I mean, there's a lot of countries trying to do CBDC. CBDC is an M0 replacement of physical cash. The biggest challenge is provide frictionless cash-like payment experience that can handle peak traffic congestions, connectivity breaks, when there's no power, or offline without the internet. Our solution to it is enabling technology just for Alipay, like Venmo in the US. Alipay, if there's no internet, it won't make a payment transactions. Okay, so we provide frictionless payment experience to the user. so that even without internet, the payment can still go through. The first technology that we're using, we call the QR, BLE QR. Basically, it's an NFC replacement. That's what they call near-field communications. That's used by the Apple Pay. But the problem is that it's only less than 50% of the smartphone in the world have NFC. So if we use NFC for offline payment, it doesn't work well. So we spent about 4 years. Initially we planned to do in 1 year. Actually, we spent about 4 years to develop the QRBLE QR technologies, and we got the government funding. We won several awards internationally. The technology primarily is for the ticketing, mobile transit ticketing. The second technology, because CBD is getting very hot, so we filed patent on the offline TLT. So basically, your smartphone carry the ledger, the ledger in the crypto Bitcoin world. So the transaction can be verified on ledgers, and also we use cryptographic security to ensure the data cannot be modified, and use tokenization to limit the risk of content cloning on a smartphone. So we won several awards and also government funding as well. The latest one is 2020, this year, for the FinTech Award in Hong Kong. The patent we filed in 2019, a few years ago, for the US, China, and worldwide, and Singapore. The competitive landscape for CBDC, we are the only technology that can support all smartphones compared to the others. Okay, WeChat Pay, Alipay, Apple Pay, Google Pay. Last year, we have done the sandbox for double offline payment for Chinese yuan with HSBC Bank. And also we are in dialogue with Bank of Thailand for cross-border CBDC. And this year, we will try to work with on the CBDC pilot in Greater Bay Area in China. And also recently we are in the final, we are with the 10 finalists for the CBDC track organized by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. So we are highly likely that we'll be involved in the eHKD, okay, the e-Hong Kong dollars. Why us? Okay, we have been in this industry for 20 years. But in 2014, we decided to do a management buyout and form a new company to focus on smartphone payment instead of a card payment. One of the several big customers that we have before with the card payment, one of them is the US Army in Iraq, in Afghanistan in 2007, that there's no internet at all. So they have to use the system for daily payments. The future growth is unlimited, okay, because the future financial system will be CBDC, set up by BIS and also Federal Reserve in the US. And also one thing I have to mention that the future growth will be in the small value, high volume transactions. Where offline payment is very important because currently we only digitize about 50% of the physical money, and it consumes 1% of the energy of the worldwide. If we want to digitize the remaining 50%, it's going to cost you 5% of the energy in the world. With offline payment, it doesn't consume energy at all because it doesn't connect to the server. So it offers zero transaction cost and zero CO2 emissions, okay? Yes, it's done. Any questions?
Yeah. John?
Yes, thank you for this. I don't pretend to be an expert on fintech. I'm too old for that. But I have seen something in the 40 years I've been involved with the financial markets, and that every decade there's a bunch of new startups in some area, and then there's a big consolidation. And we've just had a decade where we've had so many sort of single purpose small startups. I mean, what do you see as the future for a company like yours in 10 years? I mean, is it something that's inevitable that you will be sort of become part of some big financial group, or is a single service payment provider, a go alone proposition over the long term? Where do you see your company or companies like yours in 10 years' time?
Good. That's a very good question, because with a technology which is so unique in the world, nobody can do it. Just for example, if we provide the technology for PayPal, we can immediately get them more 25 billion US dollar business annually with our technologies. So if I am PayPal, I would acquire my company right away. It won't cost a lot of money, but the return is really big. Just also Alipay as well. I think that's why I see that in the near future, we may be acquired by big company like PayPal, Venmo, or Paytm in India, or WeChat or Alipay in China. That's what I see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. And I think for the successful, good fintechs that have been started over the last 10 years, I think 90% of the survivors will be part of a big financial group in the future. But, you know, that can be a really good exit as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dora, your turn.
Thank you. This is very impressive. I used to have one project in Iraq, and it was very, very difficult. I'm very happy to see your project in Iraq. May I just ask the recent government announcement, I think last week in the FinTech week, how does that, does it give you any more opportunities with what the latest, the government's,
you mean Hong Kong, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, first of all, last year when we talked to the Hong Kong MA, they say they won't do EHKD. But this year, the second half, they say, okay, we'll go ahead with the research and development of EHKD. And we be part of the finalists. We have the chance, as they say to us, especially that we will go get involved on the EHKD, especially for the offline payment, because nobody have the technology in the world.
That is wonderful.
Yes. Also, another big opportunity is that because it's going to regulate the crypto world, cryptocurrency, with our technology, we can help cryptocurrency to go to retail without big cost.
And very good. Another question I have, you said that there's quite a good chance that you will be acquired. When you said that you will be acquired, you probably are not looking for any more fund, but instead you're looking for an exit, right? You want to sell the whole company.
I think part of the funding is to look for exit as well. I mean, the ultimate goal is to exit the company. I mean, there's all the staff want to do that. And also we have, besides this CBDC project, our technology is initially designed for transit ticketing, because it was delayed by the COVID-19. Finally, we have a project launch in Dubai for the government, 20 buses with a transit ticketing system just launched this month. Finally.
The reason the real questions I'm trying to get at you is, so, there was a different type of venture capitalists, investors. If you're looking to sell, are you looking to sell to, I mean, what they call it stage 1, stage 2, stage A, stage B, stage C? On what stage do you think that you were looking to get in terms of the funding size?
I think we're looking at the Series A right now because we are way beyond the seed fund. Okay, we're well established. We have a mature product. So we're looking at the Series A. So if we can run our show instead of acquire a big company, we still want to do it as well. So
very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Helen, your last question.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure your technology is ready enough, but as we all know that Alipay and WeChat payment has experienced more and more strict regulation in China. So among all the e-payment companies and organizations, how will you compete with them? And after you get the financial support, how will you use the money?
Okay. Okay, in China, because Alipay and WeChat Pay is so well established, it's very difficult to beat them, okay? but we can supply technology to them to enable them for offline transaction that will fit to the CBDC model. Okay, I'm not new to the China market. In 1994, I established the first internet service provider in Beijing, almost 20 years ago. Okay, the first one. So I know the how to deal with the China market well.
Okay.
Did I answer the questions? You know, also we are not limited to the China market because CBDC is a global thing. There are more opportunity in Southeast Asia, Africa, maybe bigger than the China as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'll just ask one quick follow-up question because I think it's important to focus on
sorry,
the technology.
John. We have overrun the time. We need to have the last team to present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kara.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Can everyone see the screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone has thought of taking an adventure in their childhood life, neither walk through the tropical forest or climb the rugged mountain. Now here is a robot that helps you watch the fantasy of nature through their eyes. Good evening. This is Ninja Technology presenting Polar Bear, the first adventure robot. It is really a hard time since 2020. 2.7 billion people is decreasing each year due to COVID-19. And most of the people are forced to stay at home without traveling. So it is not exaggerate to say that children under 3 years old merely get in touch with nature. The best way to help is to explore the world through the video and photos. However, drones cannot cater the needs to watch the micro world by mocking the movement of people. The current photographing patterns such as GoPro also having a very shaking video quality. Very few robots can go to the complex terrain to capture down what users truly want to see, and the market of nature-based video learning is still left in the blank. At the same time, we realize that the market share of entertainment robot is dramatically increased in the past few years to reach a market share of $1.15 billion US. So based on the pain points of our target customer, as well as the market opportunity we analysis, we propose a very feasible solution. The robot Polar Bear can help users to record the world from the complex terrain and capture image that human cannot reach. So here is some video demos of our robot moving in complex terrains. This can ensure high cross-country ability, good photographic stability, and good productivity based on our patent technology. So here is some comparison video that you can see compared to the traditionals. Our Polar Bear have less of the length shapes and the movement is more stable. So here is some statistic of our first beta model. So we can see there is a 71% decrease in the vibration, 50% decrease because we have some material engineering that doing some structural design and also some increase of the cross-country ability. And we also we also offer a complete side of software support. So here is some our unique feature which provides some gamified learning experience, personalized learning, chatbots, dialogue system, and natural-based learning to fit exactly the to strengthen our hardware side needs. So here is some first prototype of the UI design, and our business model is by two parts. The first part is we charge based on our hardware. The second part is we cooperate with many schools and we provide some software in order to strengthen our circle and community. And for the go-to-market strategy, we will use a venture and clear market positioning. We will launch the products in Kickstarter within the 1 year to get the first prototypes, and we will use some second in Hong Kong and China. We will select certain primary and secondary school as our pilot partnership to test the program and as well as the software. So here is the competitive analysis. So we have a lower price compared to our competitors. So here is our team members, which is some people. We have welded patents, and we have already formulated strategy framework agreement with some machinery manufacturing companies. So here is some media coverage and we have got such direct and fast track entry funding support to those of the programs so far. And here we are also reported in our THK as well as UHK Business School. And currently we are going to do the pilot scheme and to introducing more students to our polar bear robots. So based on because of the limited times, I just shows down cooperation photos with some cyberport as well as some basic demo that we have developed so far.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions from the panel? Any questions from the panel of judges? Gaio?
Okay, I will leave it up to John because I think he was a bit faster, but I will say my question. I have seen that you're doing a pretty good job so far, but I'm generally interested how you financed your vision so far. I mean, is it self-funded or you're just in the process of raising money?
Yes, for current stages, we are still in the prototyping and also in the developing stage of our MVP. And here you can see here is the first minimal viable products that we have after our 3 times of the trial editions. But it still have a lot of the function that we want to establish. The first milestone we want to establish is we want to establish and sell them to the school, and after then we will launch it and launch it to Kickstarter, and we will require much of the capital in those of the marketing as well as branding our products in those of the education functions. And for the robot side, we still developing and more auto-following technology as well as more technology that can recognize some shooting angles. So for the third products that we will achieve auto-following headpod that can help people to shoot in some several angles. So it is not only an education robots. In the third process, we will return and refine and use those of the technology to help and assist in the virtual tourism.
Thanks for this one. I would just add one small additional question. Are you part of any acceleration or incubation programs, or you're planning to be?
Currently, we are actually started our company in this year January, and we are still, due to the time limit, we are still in the ideation because the ideation is 1 year. Then after going to incubation, we after finish the ideation, we will go to the we will apply the incubation.
Thank you. It makes sense, and it could benefit to your startup pretty much, but choose wisely because there are some incubation programs that are practically working as such, but they don't deliver. So choose the ones that have not just a strong acceptance rate, but that do provide value. So good luck.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, John, and then followed by Eddie to wrap up.
I'll defer to Eddie because I think in the last response it covered the questions about just the stage of development.
Okay, Eddie.
Okay, I just have one question because I have noted you have different surface. One is gamifications and one is the robots. So I would like to know what is the relationship between the robots and gamifications. Is there any relationship or continuous?
So because our robots actually have been a really strong cross-country ability based on our technical and patent technology. So our robots is actually very suitable to go to outside. That is many robots that cannot go outside. And why we selecting education track as our first milestone, because education, the basis cooperation with some schools could much more generate the first funding and as well as the money. However, if we want to launch it in the Kickstarter, it requires a really completing manufacturing circle, and we have to decide involve a lot of supply chain as well as the marketing campaigns. So that's why we even think education track is quite smally compared to virtual tourism or maybe like a drones. We want to replace drone because of the many restriction. Not exactly replace, but at us and another angles, auto following to take some shots of yourself in the
Shorter
city.
answers. Can I ask a question quick? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need a long answer, so everybody else can still ask a question. Just two things. As a joke, I'm not sure it's a polar bear. It looks like polar spider to me. But have you considered the rescue possibilities, especially in the terrains or in the bad weather where people actually cannot continue the rescue? It seems to be applicable to me, not just for the tourism, but the rescue might be actually more lucrative.
Sorry, I cannot really get the questions.
Okay.
Let me translate. I think that John's question is very good. So you know how you have a disaster and you have an earthquake, so your robot can go into those places and help. So
yes. Currently,
earthquake or hills. Let's say it's a bad snowstorm and people cannot go out. Your robot can go there and search for lost people. That's what I mean, rescue purpose, right?
Rescue purpose, we actually want our first generation is actually a early fire prevention automated machine for forests. However, we discovered that for the manufacturing, especially for the safety concerns, it requires really high standards of the technology as well as a long ROI. So it is not really attracting compared to the education track or even the virtual tourism track.
Okay, thank you. Now, judges, please cast your vote. If you have not done so, we'll spend another 3 minutes to cast all the vote. Meanwhile, any judges who would like to share their experience or comment? Any comment or experience?
Great event and really a solid number of startups within the event. I mean, various industries, especially like the past 3 ones, considering the iBonus, which I think has the pretty strong potential, but there are others, you know, I like the first one also, like Solar Power Glory, that has working with the electrical vehicles and that have that battery that lasts for so long. And I'm not sure what else would add, because for comparing it to other startup events, there are pretty similarities, and I think that other judges did their remarks to the event, considering the questions they asked. But
just 1 second, quick technical question. Has the voting link been closed? I can't put in my last vote.
I think that the event manager has closed it, considering the time frame of 2 hours is past, like 15 minutes ago. And I think that Belinda need to write. I'm not sure, is it Elena who is responsible for the event or some other person?
Gaio,
But just,
I've told them that will overrun. So I have not told them to close the voting.
No, it closes automatically, though. You have to ask them to reopen it.
They automatically do it, you know, so you need to remind her that to refresh the page. They have the opportunity, they can do it in a minute or so, but I had the same issue considering the Montenegro event that we've been organizing and that you two been a part of. So 3 of you being a part, including Peter. So just remind them, and if the judges have completed their voting so far, you know, a really great event. You know, a week ago you had like 6 startups that were seen through the pages of the startup network as registered, but with this 9, I think, you know, you have a clear picture who is going to be a winner and a runner-up. So John, do you have any remarks for the event? Because I always like to hear your thoughts, which summarize the closure of the event.
I'm still trying to get in my last vote. Let me do that, and I'll let other people speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katja, maybe you can give us your insight.
Yeah, I would like to. I would join the compliments that Gaia already shared. And thank you, Belinda, for this organization. I would just like to point out that we see that this big potential or uncovered field yet with digitalization of different services, where we know that we still have the space to move in with innovations. And I would also like to point to the fact that startups with different backgrounds, experiences should really stress out the commercialization part of the pitch and give us the more information about the revenues, the potential, the pricing models, and where actually the money flows into the company, in order for us being on this investor panel side, be able to actually decide better and see more clearly this potential. This would just be as a general advice, because I see that this has been going on throughout different stages in these processes.
Okay, thank you. Any judge who has not voted, please vote now. Ayo, please share your comment. The voting will close after Ayo has given his comment.
Yeah, two points, Belinda. I'm not sure. I've put my vote. I don't know whether I have to click save or something.
If you have an issue, try to refresh your page and it will open again. I mean, it will give you the chance to change the grade or generally to vote for the startup you haven't voted so far.
I'm fine with the voting as it is. I just need to know whether I just sign off or whether I have to save it on the page. Do I have to do something now? I voted everywhere.
No, just click and it saves automatically.
Okay, because it's become blue on all the one that voted. Yes. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So that was just your question. I just wanted to comment on the event itself. It's my first participation. I found it extremely educational, not only from the pitch, but also from the high level of questions from the panel. So I've learned a lot from today's presentation, and I thank you again, Belinda, for organizing this and for inviting me, and I wish all the entrepreneurs who's done their pitch all the very best, and I hope they succeed in what they're doing, because we need the world need more entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining this event. Startup Network is now doing all the calculations to see who comes first, second, and third. So we'll let them have a minute or two.
Really?
Yes, yeah. So anyone have any questions or comment? No?
I mean, the only other observation I would make is it was nice to see that not everything was just pure financial driven, that there are one or two startups or early stage companies that have a social mission in mind. And that's something we always have to keep in the back of the mind, that not everything is driven by the highest ROI. There's some good deeds being done as well. We can't lose perspective of that.
Well, in Hong Kong this year, the government also emphasizes on art. So Hong Kong's focus is on STEAM, only on STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we have African Drum emphasizing on doing the art and sharing the knowledge and experience in relaxing through drumming.
Can we hear that
also
sound,
we have
sound
the
of drumming again?
Yeah, and also we have the NFT. Now we have the winner.
Okay.
The winner is Solar Power Glory, followed by IP House, and the third one, iBonus. Congratulations to
Congratulations.
three teams.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Wow, thank you. It's great.
Congrats
you.
to you, Solar Power.
Well,
Great
thank you
job,
very
really.
much.
How are
Yep.
you still with us?
I am still with you guys.
Okay. Keep on the
Yeah.
good work, everyone.
Oh, thank you very much.
So
Yeah.
hope to see